Hey there, everyone. This is Chris Lemig with True Nature Hypnotherapy. I am a transpersonal hypnotherapist here in the Seattle, Washington area. And what I do is I work with clients to achieve their goals by helping them achieve and maintain enhanced states of learning and healing and growth. And we do this by relaxing the body and mind and getting into a very natural state where we can focus our awareness and work with our issues on very deep levels. Today, I'd like to talk a little bit about general wellness and wellness in the context of mind, body, and spirit. I think this is an important topic. It's a topic that's been talked about a lot in our culture of healing and health these days, especially alternative health. So what I'm going to offer today is just kind of my take on it. I think, like I say, this is a very important subject. We need to treat ourselves and our wellness and our health with a holistic approach. All too often, especially in our sort of mainstream medicine, we focus on individual issues, individual diseases, individual symptoms, and we try to box these into these tiny little individual separate things or objects that we think that by just focusing on that, just working with the symptom, just working with the one part of our body or the organ, we're going to be able to fix the whole person. And I think from a lot of ancient Eastern, especially Eastern health traditions and medicine traditions like Ayurveda and Tibetan medicine, which grew out of that, and other ancient wisdom traditions, we find that that is an approach that, although there are some advantages to it, especially in terms of surgery, working with broken bones and major physical ailments that have already gone way beyond the sort of maybe less invasive treatments that are available. We find that doing things from a holistic approach is actually going to be much more valuable and effective. It's also focuses more on preventative care than dealing with things once they've gotten out of hand. So the holistic approach, I think, is very important in our lives, and we break things down into these general categories of mind, body, and spirit. And so we can treat everything in our life from that sort of larger view, from that larger perspective. And when we do that, we find that our engagement in our health becomes much more, what do we say, much more personal and much more intuitive. And becomes a lot more of an adventure, actually, because there's all these different aspects of ourselves. We can get to know ourselves much better. So in the case of working with our health in terms of our mind, we can do things like journal writing or work with our emotions through therapy and possibly even through medication and things like that. I'm not averse to that when it's appropriate and necessary. With our bodies, there's obviously lots of things we can do with that in terms of our diet, the environment in which we live, how much exercise we're getting or not getting. Our daily habits. Are we smoking? Are we drinking? Are we watching too much TV? Are we watching things that are maybe kind of too much of a downer and causing a lot of stress in our lives? And then as far as spirit, we can work with, not just in a religious sense, of course, but just by treating ourselves as spiritual beings and working with ourselves with that sort of larger perspective, that we're not just body, we're not just brain, we're not just our mind and emotions, but we're also spiritual beings as well. And so to take care of ourselves from that point of view, with things like meditation, with things like compassion meditation, getting out in nature, becoming connected with the world at large, recognizing our place in the world, that we are just interdependent pieces of this vast and beautiful universe. So connecting with those sorts of things can be a wonderful way to align ourselves with kind of a greater view of ourselves and nourishes our spirit. So some people ask me, what sorts of things do I do to take care of myself in body, mind, and spirit? And really, I do a lot of the things that I just mentioned. One of the things that I have gotten in the habit of doing is journal writing. And I go through periods of, doing that more or less. So that's an important aspect of my health. I do take care of my physical body too with diet and running. I do enjoy to run. So that's something that I find to be really helpful. And then also taking care of my mind through my own practice of hypnosis, which is something that is absolutely crucial as far as I'm concerned in order for me to be a good hypnotherapist, and also just to kind of take care of myself and kind of walk the talk, as it were. But I do hypnotherapy on myself on a very regular basis, if not daily, then at least a few times a week. And that just helps to refresh the positive messages that I give myself. It gives me an opportunity to just settle myself down and to just sometimes just simply relax my body in a very deep way that gives me some time to recharge and to revitalize my nervous system and my immune system. And then as far as spirituality goes and spirit, taking care of myself in that way, I do a meditation practice, and I recommend that to all my clients to cultivate some kind of mindfulness meditation practice, whatever feels right for you, whatever is going to fit into your life. But just make that happen for yourself. And that's what I do for myself. I make it work for my schedule. I make it work for how much time that I have, but I make sure that I do it every day. That's the most important thing. And I've set up that habit over the past 10, 13 years of just doing a meditation practice every day. Even if I'm a little bit tired or groggy in the morning, I still get up and do it. Or if I'm doing my practice at night and I just I really want to just go to bed, but I still just sit down and I just sit for a couple of minutes just to keep that habit going. And then when I do feel a little more fresh and have more energy, of course, I'll sit for longer. But I don't set a time on it, because if I set a time on it and say I have to meditate for 30 minutes, say, and if I don't have the 30 minutes, I don't want to just give myself permission and then just chuck it, and say oh, well, I don't have 30 minutes, so I'm not going to meditate today. No, I can sit down and I can meditate for however long that I have. So giving myself that flexibility is something too that I've learned over the years is really beneficial for my own well-being and my own health, my mental health, spiritual health, and physical health. So I'd like to just give a shout out today as well to Ascension Living, and it's wonderful to be a part of this group and this movement. And I wanted to say a couple of words about what Ascension Living means to me, and I think it's a wonderful concept. Ascension Living is really about uplifting ourselves up out of the ordinary, up out of the humdrum, up out of the ruts that maybe we've found ourselves in, where we feel ourselves being unfulfilled, or maybe a little bit directionless, a little bit lost, a little bit disconnected from the world. And we ascend, we bring ourselves up into another way of being, another way of life. Nothing lofty, nothing too self-congratulatory or anything like that, but just bringing ourselves up to be the best human beings we can be by taking care of ourselves, by being healthy in body, mind, and spirit, and by then being able to turn outward once we've kind of gotten ourselves in a good place. We can then turn outward and be a benefit to others and help lift other people up as well into more joyful, happy, and meaningful lives. So I'd like to just go ahead and say thank you once again to everybody. Thanks for watching. Again, my name is Chris Lemig. I'm a transpersonal hypnotherapist here in Seattle, Washington, and my private practice is called True Nature Hypnotherapy. You can check out my website at www.truenaturehypnotherapy.com, and feel free at any time to give me a call or reach out to me for a consultation, or if you have any questions at all about anything that I've talked about in this video or hypnosis in general. So thank you very much, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.